What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. It's been a while. For those of you that don't watch my podcast episodes, I haven't been here, haven't been vlogging for most of the winter because, come on, it's winter and I live in Iowa, for those of you that don't know. So winter kind of sucks. But today we're back. Also, for those of you that maybe don't watch my podcast episodes on my channel, you really should, because it's just getting better as I do more of them, and I have been really having fun and enjoying doing those videos. So if you have not tuned into the podcast, The Horse Girl Hype, on my channel, be sure to do that. Every Thursday I upload a new episode, and it's been a good time. So anyways, today we're back with a different video. And today I'm going to be trying to do a little DIY project that I've never done before. So this is going to be my first time building or making a DIY slow feed hay feeder, I guess. I don't know what to call it. A hay feeder. A slow feed hay feeder. I've seen these before, but I don't know anybody that has one in particular that I can think of. And I don't like wasting hay any more than the next person does. It costs me my precious money. And so I like to savor whatever I can from it, right? So I have this plastic barrel, just a black plastic barrel that's been getting kicked around my property for a while now. So I thought about making a hay feeder out of it. My horses are all dry lotted currently, so I do have to feed hay. They don't get to graze all summer long, unfortunately. So I do, for the most part, feed hay. And so, yeah, I don't like it to be wasted. I like them to clean up every last piece. And so I want to try to incorporate more slow feed options into my routine. So I have this barrel, and I'm going to try to make one of these handy dandy hay feeders. So I have my barrel. First thing, I have a circular saw. This is just my little Porter cable little guy. I have some zip ties. I have a slow feed net. I don't have it here. It's still out in the pasture. I'm gonna have to go get it. And then I'm also gonna need a drill with a drill bit, but that's also in my house, so I'll get that later. But yeah, I think this is gonna be all I need. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started. So first things first, with this barrel, I need to cut the top off because there's not gonna be any way for me to fill it with the top still on it, obviously. So if you have one that already has the top off of it, that's awesome. But I'm gonna go ahead and use my circular saw to cut the top off. If you're not good with power tools, don't try this on. Find one with the top already off of it. There's the top off of the barrel. It's not pretty. The edges are pretty jagged, but the horses aren't really going to have access to this side of it anyways. So the next thing I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to cut like three holes along the bottom. So the horses can eat out of the bottom side. So I think I'm going to cut like a hole here, a square hole on every third around, like, you know what I mean? So there's gonna be 3 holes, and I'm gonna leave the bottom on. Some people cut the bottom out and then the horses just eat out of the bottom, but I think I want the horses to eat out of the side and leave the bottom on it. So I'm gonna go ahead and try to cut 3 holes in this guy. And hopefully this will be easier than the top because I'm not having to try to, like, you know, circle around. All right, so this is kind of what I'm thinking. I might bring it closer to the bottom a little bit, but just something big enough for the horse to get their nose into. I might make it a little bit bigger, but something big enough for the horses to eat out of. But yeah, this is kind of the idea I'm going for. I might bring it down to the bottom a little bit more, and I'm gonna have to drill holes in the bottom so that water doesn't collect, but we'll do that when I get my drill. All right, there's all of my holes. Look at that. Okay, now I need to go inside and get my drill. So I'm gonna go inside and get my drill because I'm going to, the way I wanna attach the hay net is by zip tying it to the inside. So I'm gonna go get a hay net so we can use it for size. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get my drill so that we can drill some holes in this guy. All right, I'm back. I'm back with my drill and my hole bit. And I'm back with a hay net. So really, you can do this with a regular hay net or a slow feed hay net. I guess it doesn't really matter, depending on what you wanna do. But we're gonna go ahead and drill some holes because when this hay net sits in here, I want to be able to obviously mount it, attach it to the side of the barrel somehow. So first off, we need to make sure we know where we want to drill our holes, like how high we want to drill them. So when I put this down at the bottom, I kind of need to guess how high on the barrel I'm gonna put my holes. And you have to take into account when you fill this hay net, it's gonna spread the net out a little bit. So if we try it on for size, I'm gonna guess about right here, right at this line on the barrel. That's about where I'm gonna put my holes, so that my net can still spread out once I fill it with hay and not be too high or too low. I guess if you wanted to put a hole at the bottom as well, if you think your horses will eat out of the bottom of it, you can do that too. I might do that down the road, who knows. But first, I'm gonna flip this guy over and put some drainage holes on the bottom. All right, I don't know if you guys can tell, there's several holes down there. So I'm gonna call that good. Now I'm gonna count how many loops there are in the top of this, just because I don't want to drill more holes than necessary. So I'm gonna count every one of these loops. There's 26. So basically I need to make 26 slots all the way around. I'll try to do them as evenly as possible, but no promises. So I'm gonna go ahead and make one hole on top of this line and one hole underneath. All right, I hope that's enough. Probably made too many, honestly. Okay, I did make too many holes, but that's okay. So now I'm gonna take my zip ties and zip tie each loop to a hole. And I'm gonna do this on the inside so that the sharps of the zip ties, when I cut them off, are on the inside instead of the outside. Because we all know that horses are basically children and will cut themselves on whatever they can find. So if this worries you with the plastic and the sharp edges, you can always take some sandpaper and sand these smooth a little bit if you've got an accident-prone horse. Alright guys, so here's what the inside looks like. You can see I've zip tied all of the loops to the side. I don't even think I'm gonna bother with trying to cut off the ends of these zip ties because they're inside, it doesn't matter. And now when you stuff your hay down in here, it has enough volume still at the bottom to spread out. So now really it's just up to you to decide how you want to mount this. Personally, I'm going to be screwing it to a big tree. So I might even stop at the hardware store this afternoon and get some big deck screws. And I'm just going to drill it into a tree because I have an abundance of trees. But you can also hang these. I've seen some people that like to hang them from the ceiling or from the top of your barn or whatever. And if you want to do that, just drill some more holes around the top so that you can put a chain. You can put a chain and you can hang it, but this whole barrel is gonna fit about a bale's worth of hay. So that's why I really wanted to make these, was so when it's cold like this, I can give my horses more volume of hay without worrying about them wasting so much of it. I also may go ahead, I don't know, I haven't decided, I might go ahead and drill a hole in the bottom to zip tie a couple of these to the bottom, just so that if they get to pulling, they're not just gonna pull the whole thing out one hole. But it just depends how picky you want to be with it. Don't do this at home if you're not old enough to operate power tools. My circular saw probably wasn't the best saw to do this, because it kicked back at me a lot. But yeah, I will update you guys when I get this mounted out there and I test it out. All right guys, this is how I screwed it in. I intended to do 4, but I think I stripped that top screw trying to get it in. It didn't go in very straight, but hopefully 3 will be plenty. There's not too much wobble here, but I tried to put it high enough so the horses could still like eat at a comfortable level. But I wouldn't be surprised if the giraffe could still get her head up and over that, but hopefully not. So we'll try it out later when I feed for the night and see how they like it. Not real sure about it yet. Gonna try to use it. Good girl. Okay, I will make one critique. Now there's only like 1 flake in there, so when I put a lot more hay in there, she won't be able to pull that bag out like that. But I may go ahead and just zip tie it to the back side, just so they can't pull it out so easy. But she's figured out how to use it. They were a little unsure of the hanging black scary thing, but now she's got it. All right, guys, that is all I have for this video. Let me know if you guys have one of these barrel slow feeders or have made one or have some sort of variation of one. I know there's a few different designs that I've seen that people use, but all in all, it's a barrel slow feeder. So let me know if you guys enjoyed this video. I think I'm gonna be making a couple more, so be sure to subscribe and watch my vlogs if you don't already, and I'm probably going to vlog making a couple more of those. Because right now there's only 1 and I have 2 horses eating off of it, so I can't make more than 1 slow feed pile. So I'm definitely gonna be making more, so stay tuned for that. Let me know your thoughts down below. Check out the description box before you leave, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.